I need y'all to talk about George Bush for real, because
follow our show. Bring it to the table. Subscribe, like, and follow our show. Bring It to the Table podcast, where you will hear hot topics that couples face in relationships, updated here weekly. And while you're at it, rate us and leave us a review. We want to hear from you. Table combos right here at Bring It to the Table. Let's talk about it. What are some of the things?
Yo. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and happy Monday. This is your boy, Christopher Tiptoe Williams.
And I am Neresia Williams. Hello, everybody.
And we are your hosts for Bring It to the Table podcast live.
Yes. So for those of you that are joining us today, we would like to thank you for taking time to join us. And to our podcast listeners who are taking us on the go, thank you for hanging out with us. We are an interactive show. We broadcast live
from California.
Yes, every Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m.
Pacific Standard Time.
Right. So basically what we do is talk about everyday topics that couples face in relationships.
That's right, everyday topics. And how we bring it to the table and discuss these everyday topics.
Yes. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with what has been hot. Well, we haven't been on in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, we missed out last week because we had, we was, getting some things in order, but we're back. I know you guys missed us. We missed you guys too.
Yes.
We've been getting all of the nice comments. We really appreciate that. For those right now that's on YouTube right now, looking at us, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and join us. And also people live right now on Facebook. What's up? Make sure you hit like and share while we're online.
That's right.
And to all our podcast listeners who are listening via iTunes and other places like that, we want to say, hey, thank you for joining in too live as well.
Yes, we are on Apple Music and Google Play, and soon to be a couple others. So.
Yeah. So we got some things going on, man. It's been a crazy holiday, going into Christmas. We only got how many more days? Is it 15 more days to Christmas?
I think it's 14 now.
Wow, 14 more days to Christmas. And guess what? You got a birthday coming up too this week, right?
Whoop whoop!
Yo, shout out to all the people, the birthday babies of December. You know what I'm saying?
The Sagittarius and Capricorns. Hey.
Sagittarius. Send a shout out to our cousin Sedalia Gooden.
Yes, today's her birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sedalia. Hope you're enjoying yourself. So, man, let's get into it. Let's just dive in, Oh, first of all, I want to send a shout out also to our producer, Mr. Darren Hopkins, who's joining us over to the left. You always see him. He's the guy that keeps us sane and keeps all these wonderful things moving and grooving and keeping it on time.
Yes, it's a family business.
Yes. He produces the show. We really appreciate him. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's get into some of the what's hot in the news, man. What's been hot out here? There's a lot of things going on. I think you were telling me about, was it George Bush?
Yes, it was on the news a couple days.
Yeah, George Bush passed. I guess that's the end of an era. George Bush has been around for a long time. Him and his son George Bush, hailing from Texas. I don't know a lot about him as far as like some of the things he's done. As far as historical wise, he's been around and had his hand in a lot of things.
Houston seems to love him pretty much. Guess he did a lot for the community down there. Not really sure on that.
Donations, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they have a library in the freeway.
Yeah, I know about the George Bush Turnpike. Cost a lot of money.
Hey, you gotta make money. Yes.
Also, what else is going
on? But
on?
did you see? I don't know if you've seen the part during the funeral where the son, because him and Michelle Obama, they usually sit next to each other whenever they have those type of things. So he reaches across. They always be cracking up, and they always having small conversations or whatever. But he reached across.
Michelle Obama?
No.
Oh, Barack.
No. No. George Bush Jr.
Right.
reached across Trump,
Okay.
President Trump,
Okay.
and his wife to give Michelle Obama some candies. And they was like laughing about it because he was giving her mints at the funeral before that they had went to.
Yeah.
So they always making a big
Is
thing
that,
about that.
is that a good thing or a bad thing? You giving them mints. You had to do it before. Feel me?
Well, he gave her some candy.
Oh, okay.
So they make a big deal about that part.
They be breath checking us.
Well, he seemed to be the only one that does that. Barack doesn't seem to have a problem with it, but it was just a gesture that they always seem to bring up, and it's kind of like a funny thing.
They friends. I know other things is going on, man. It's crazy things. Kevin Hart.
Yeah. So tell us about that.
Man, Kevin Hart was passing on hosting the Oscars because they went back about 8 years and tried to make him apologize for some tweets that he put out before in his younger part of his career that he's already apologized for, but they wanted him to come back and apologize again. So he turned down hosting the Oscars because, hey, he's apologized for it and moved on, but he's not going to continue to keep doing it. And I applaud him for doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Why you want me to keep doing something I've already apologized for?
That's right. What happened to pay your dues once for, like, even for a crime? Why do you have to keep having to answer for something that you've already apologized and you've already paid your time for? So, I mean, he apologized once. That's not good enough.
No, I guess not. But big up to Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Kevin stood up and he said what was on his mind. So hey, I support him in that part. So hey, shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's looking and listening to us right now.
Yes, thank you. And so we're going to talk about some good stuff, and be sure to go ahead and share this video with your friends and family, because we're going to talk about some juicy family communication stuff tonight. And before we get into that, I just want to say that I completed my certification for relationship and life coach.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay! So I'm excited about that, which is an extension of what we do at Bring It to the Table.
So you telling me that you are a certified life coach, and if anybody that's looking and listening right now, they can reach out to you and talk about things that are on their mind pertaining to their life and relationships?
That is correct.
That's
I do
awesome.
individual coaching sessions, as well as I'll do some group coaching sessions online and in person. So,
Nice.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I definitely have a passion for helping relationships so that they can continue to foster into having good, healthy marriages and relationships, because we got to stop the cycle of broken families, because it affects our kids.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, why don't you go over a couple of recaps of what happened last on the show, and then we can get right to it and get on what we're talking about today.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna shout out a couple people that's joining us. Looks like for the first time, we have Victoria and Renee.
Is that Victoria,
Deshante?
all the way from Louisiana, Alexandria?
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Victoria, and who else we have? Oh, hey, what up, sis? Mr. Shante, yeah,
Yes.
What's going on? How you guys doing? Hey, yo, go support my man, King Ashoka. They're doing a slap, holiday giveaways. I want to give them a shout out, on that. They do that every year. Christmas toys for the kids, so it's really huge.
All right. So last time we were on, which was about 2 weeks ago, because we took a break, had a death in the family, and just bouncing back. So we are back now. So before we were last on, we talked about holiday traditions, because it was around about Thanksgiving time. So that's what we were talking about. The topic was, do you feel that the things that you do for Thanksgiving is traditional ways or non-traditional. And for us, we're more of a non-traditional family. We
Yeah.
do things a little different here. And
Yeah.
then we talked about family activities. Do you have certain things that you do, like play card games or go to the movies or cook together, go watch, you take the kids and go through the neighborhoods and look at the lights.
Yeah, I used to love that. I used to love that over there off of, I believe that's off of Camp Wisdom. Camp Wisdom in Hampton, those houses that used to be to the right.
Yeah.
Used to go down that little hill, there'd be all those lit up houses.
There's certain neighborhoods that are known for the lights, and the neighborhoods go all out. And there are certain ones that for Halloween they are big on. You got to take your kids to that neighborhood to go trick or treat, even though you don't live in that neighborhood. But you know that's the big house, and that's the good house. They got the good candy. So you take the kids, you get in the car, you pile in the car, and I did that time. We just drive to the neighborhood, get out, and you walk around with the rest of the kids, and then you get back in the car. And that's what you do.
Oh boy.
Yeah, y'all didn't never do that.
No, we just drove through. Yeah, we didn't get out now.
Yeah, you pull into the beginning of the neighborhood, people park their cars, and then some parents, they just drive a little bit and get out with the kids. They get back in the car, they drive down a little further. I guess that's maybe for the little bit of kids. But, you know, you just pile them in like you're going to the drive-in movies and just go for it.
I see, I want to ask a couple questions before we go. I see Kim Felton says she's excited to know and that she needs some help and some advice. So you might need to DM her on, in the inbox, and she can set up time to schedule.
Okay, Kim, I've been talking with you, so we'll get together. All right, and then so the other thing, the last thing that we talked about.
Oh, shout out Richard too. He's also joined in. Richard Eli.
All right, cuz.
All the way from Kansas City, Missouri.
Was foods with the holiday traditions. That was another thing that we talked about.
Food is a big holiday tradition. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on your household, but so many people are traditionally like to have, Thanksgiving, the turkey, giving it gravy, you know what I'm saying? The pumpkin or the sweet potato pie. Some people like my cousin Chichi, she would always make the what is it called? The banana pudding.
I thought you were gonna say the chicken dressing.
Oh, I love the chicken dressing as well too. She does it all pretty much.
Yes.
Yo, shout out.
Yeah. So we just kind of did a little different this year because due to health things, we had to adjust what we were eating and so forth. So we kept it simple. We didn't have all of the traditional foods, the stuff that you get full, that we say give us the itis, get those plates, and then you're ready to go to sleep. We didn't have that going on this year. All those carbs, loaded carbs. So we didn't.
So cool. Well, that was last week, Cap. Miss Marisha, you ready to jump into what we came here to talk to the people about today?
All right. So I hope y'all are ready. So we're going to talk about family communications. Again, that's what we're talking about, which family communications can touch on a lot of different topics. So we just picked out a couple different ones. What's so funny, huh?
Oh, just laughing at our son over here eating over here to the left of me. I went to the screen. I'm like, oh, wow, look at him.
Oh, yeah. So we just picked out a couple different things that we're going to highlight on as far as communication and how we deal with it, how it affects our relationship, and maybe something that we say or bring up or that you guys share with us can help somebody. So that's what we are here for. So the first topic that I wanted to bring up was communicating as a couple. And so again, I'm all about the couples, family, relationships. And communication is key, if not the number one thing in relationships.
Well, why do you think communication is key?
Because marriage is a job and it's two different people in the same relationship, but you think different than I think on the same topic.
Right.
It could be. So if we don't know how to communicate with each other, that breaks down how we accomplish whatever we're trying to do. And it's not us bonding and growing.
Mhm.
So communication can be the key to a healthy, happy relationship. If you learn how to open up and communicate. If you don't communicate, because one thing I know for sure, most of the time women want to think that men can read our minds. And so
Ain't that the truth?
I'm not saying all, and
Hallelujah.
I'm just gonna put that
Finally.
out there.
Woo.
There, I seen a post on Facebook, and it was like this lady was sitting over in the corner, and she had her arms folded, she had lips stuck out, and she was mad because she was feeling that her significant other should have came and apologized to her by now. Well, I mean, like, you probably ain't even like thinking about it because 2 seconds after y'all done talked about it, y'all is on to something else, and we still holding on to it because we're not over it yet most of the time. So y'all ain't even thinking about it no more, but we are, and so we mad because you haven't came and apologized instead of just, hey babe, you know what you said really hurt me. I don't appreciate how you said that. It hurt my feelings. Let's talk about it and get it over with. And then you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. Oh wow, that's how you feel? Yeah, because why? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That is a book a long time ago that I read. Have you heard about that book?
Of course.
Y'all, we think on two different spectrums.
Of course.
So, that's just where I'm at with it. Communication. You've got to do that.
So would you say that's the most important thing? Communication?
I would say it's most important, but I think that statistics say as far as divorce, finance is the number one reason for divorce, finances.
Well, I mean, but without communication, you would know what's going on with your finances. So it can't be the finances because if you communicate, you would know if you're broke or not.
Well, yeah, you could communicate that, but if you ain't working, then that's finances.
So
if you spending too much money, well, you should be communicating on the budget, but still.
exactly.
But yes, that's what they say is finance.
So that's when it becomes a person pointing a finger at the other person instead of them both accepting the fact that they wasn't communicating in the beginning to know what was going on with the money that was coming in and coming out of their household organization.
Yeah, that was one of our topics a couple episodes ago that we talked about expectations and who should be in charge of the finance.
Couples, take it from us. Communication is key. Communication is key all around the board. So if you're not the one that handles the money, you know what I'm saying? Are you the one that goes and get the money? It doesn't matter who gets it or who doesn't. It's how you balance it and communicate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, one thing I can say about you is that although I'm the one in charge of the monies and I distribute where it goes,
Mm-hmm.
you still know what
Of course.
has came in and out. So even though you're not paying the bills,
Yeah, I know what's going on.
if I say we only have this and you say, well, okay, well, what about this? I'm like, what are you talking about? No, we should have this. And then I'll go back and I'll look at the numbers again. I did overlook something. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought we should have this over there. So it's good that you both know what's going on, even though one is primarily responsible for.
Well, it's a trust thing. I trust and believe that you will handle your business because we have family. So it's a machine. Everybody can't drive the car. Somebody has to sit in the passenger side in the back seat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm all for sitting in the passenger seat.
Yeah. But at any
I'll
given
let
day,
you drive.
right, but at any given day, if I get tired, guess what? You know how to drive.
Yes, I
Exactly.
got you.
So that's when you have balance and you understand your significant other. It ain't the fact that either one is outdoing each other. It's just the fact that you have a common goal set for your family. Communication.
Yes. So what I thought was ironic is that we've been together for quite a while.
Quite a while.
We've been married 5 years, but we knew each other from high school.
Long time.
We dated in high school, freshman year, high school sweethearts, the whole little
How many years ago was that? That's over what? Almost. That's over 30 years ago.
So you want to tell people how old you are, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's over 30 years ago. Oh my God.
Okay. All right. Moving right along.
Your birthday this Thursday.
I didn't say how old I was. But now that you know.
Shade.
Yes. Okay. So we did.
What shade are you?
I still look like I'm in my 20s.
Yes, you do.
Still get carded.
Yes, she does.
Black don't crack. That's what they say.
Yep, sure don't.
So we did a little exercise for us, you and I, because we were talking about family communication and everything. So with as far as couple communications, we did the exercise that I brought to you and said, well, let's just see how well that we know each other, because in couple relationships, there's different things that we have to
Yes.
understand about each other, how we communicate, how you need to feel loved, and
How
when
you need to feel love.
know yourself first. So if nothing else, you can tell your partner what you need. If they don't know and you don't know, then you're shooting in the dark.
Yeah,
And
it's important that your partners listen instead of not listening. React on you listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, no, we do. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about us. We listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the communication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if we wasn't communicating without the listening, then that's, man.
No, but we definitely do. But there are times when we have to. I don't know. There are certain times when I feel that you listen more to respond than you are listening to for acknowledging what I'm saying.
Yes.
Not all the time do we need you to fix the problem. We just want you to just hear it, but not just jump in and, oh, you should do this, or you need to do this. We just bouncing off some ideas or our thoughts or how we feeling about things.
Yeah.
Now, trust and believe. Hey, I don't know what to do. Bingo. That's when we need. Well, I suggest that you do. Well, if I was you, well, what do you think about, or what do you need? That's just learning each other. But so back to that exercise that we did.
Yeah.
We did a love language exercise so that we can share with you guys. There's different styles of communicating and how we perceive love with each other, and what I may do, he may not feel that that's really meeting his love, his cup of love per se. So he needs to be filled up. And if he's filled up, then he's gonna fill me up, right?
Yes.
Okay, so vice versa. So we did the exercise, which was very enlightening. And I had already kind of pegged him for one, but when he did the exercise, it was another one. But his second choice was what I pegged him for. So I'm gonna let him go ahead and share what his result was for the love language.
Yeah, we did an exercise, man. Let me tell you. Did some of the love languages that can be picked were like words of what is it called? Affirmation.
Yes.
Quality time, receiving gifts, acts of services, and physical touch. So I did my test here, as you can see, it's a 2-page test. You know, it's fun too for all you couples. You guys should get at us, you know what I'm saying? We can see your.
Yeah, we're gonna do that as part of one of my exercises in my coaching sessions. But let's tell the folks what you did.
So this ranked you, and I was ranked. My highest quality was ranked as quality time. I'm a guy that loves quality time with my wife. I'm not the other type of guy that likes to go out and hang out, with the boys all the time. Me and my wife we like, what I'm saying, that's my partner in crime. So I enjoy I don't know about you, but I enjoy it. And that's me.
So quality time is definitely you because not only just with couple, you and I, you are about family
Oh man, I love
time,
that.
and that's still quality time too because you always want to do things together as a family. So that was definitely you, but I had also pegged you for physical touch because
Touch.
because you like to hold hands, you like massages, you like to be rubbed.
It's so pretty.
Yes. You like cuddling. So those are the things that he likes and that fulfills him. The quality time, giving him quality time, undivided attention is what he needs. And a lot of times in which I can really reflect back and say, this is truly him. Because if I'm on my phone and he's talking or he's driving or anything and I'm looking down at my phone too much, he'll take his hand and he'll just knock my phone down out my hand, or he'll put his hand over my phone just because I'm not really looking at him when he's talking to me. So I can really truly say that yes, that is definitely you because you do that so much now that I reflect that you do.
Yeah, because
But you do that too.
who wants to drive by themselves? They always, hey.
But if I'm driving, you do the same thing.
No, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I'll talk to.
I'm
But
talking
you don't. And that's why I'm like,
and then plus,
you know,
I'm not going to drive and look down while you driving. I'm not going to be looking down too much while you driving. No way.
you think I can't drive?
No, you can drive, but I have to be able to see too. Because sometimes, you know what I'm talking about? You know, I'm like, hey, look, watch out for this here.
Rarely.
Yeah.
Because I've been driving a long time.
Yeah, you can drive.
Way before you.
Really?
Yes.
You think you driving way before me?
When you get your driver's license.
I might not got my license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Officially then.
I've been
You
driving.
were driving under the
Yeah, I've been driving. Since
without
since
the
I was
animals.
like 8 years old.
Oh yeah. You was just in the country
Yeah,
sitting
Yeah,
in people laps driving the car. We're not gonna count that part when you can touch the pedals yourself.
8, I was able to touch pedals.
At 8?
Yeah, I was driving.
Okay.
I was sitting in the laps at 5. You know,
In the country.
driving up the road. So, no,
Okay. Well, you officially
Shout out to Naples, Texas. It's the hometown.
Okay, so as far as my love language goes, I am one for acts of service. And this is truly me. So with acts of service, if he does help with the laundry, I'm okay. Cooking is acts of service, which he does majority of the cooking. What else do you do? Pamper your spouse, like you definitely do that. Just helping with tasks and not having to say something. He will always just do something without me having to say for the most part.
I want to be saved.
Well, I thought you was gonna say you was a mighty good man. You take out the garbage, you take out the can. That's what I thought you were gonna go.
He's
not the captain.
He's a mighty good man. I'm a mighty good man.
Yes.
I like being a mighty good man. Shout out to all the mighty good men out there who take out the garbage and clean the can.
Yes. So acts of service is really big for me, and without me having to say that, those are things that you actually do. So I guess that's part of why we just really are compatible. And for my second one, it was, yes, I am. I'm very spoiled. I love acts of service. Oh my gosh. That is like, not the gifts, not all the other stuff. Acts of service. He opens up the doors for me. He's just, yeah, all that good stuff. My second thing was, it was quality time. So that was our compatibility in quality time. I like spending quality time too. So yes, I'm all about that. When we first got together, I remember saying, like, can you balance your music career and me too? Because I don't like to feel like I'm second nature, and I don't want to feel that way. I need to know that I am the one, without no shadow of a doubt. I don't care about all the women friends that you have, all that. If I feel secure in knowing that I'm the one, we ain't got problems.
You
And
won.
he's done a great job at that.
I'll try.
He shouted out to the world.
She's the one, world.
You do. You publicly do that a lot.
course.
So yeah, we're good on that.
I know my blessings.
Yeah. So the other thing, as far as couple communication, was apology languages. So that's very big too. So there are times, and not everything is going to be peachy cream and good all the time. There are ups and downs in every
Yes.
relationship, and
Yes.
so you have to sometimes communication get off balance, and you have to get back on track with things.
Sure.
And so that's when you may have done something that you have to apologize to your significant other or spouse about, and that's part of the apology communication. So when I think about apology communication, it makes me think about how many times have I myself or somebody that I know been in a relationship and something has happened and you apologize for it once, but it comes back over and over and over again in a relationship. It's like a crazy figure eight. Like you did it, you apologize, y'all got over it, you good. When you get mad, you bring it back up again. You apologize again. You go through this crazy, crazy cycle over and over again. Why is that? It's because your apology it didn't resonate and it didn't set in with the person you apologize because they're looking for you to say a specific thing. And not knowing you apologize the way that you think it, but because they didn't receive it the way that they felt it, they're going to keep bringing it up because they don't feel that they've got justice, you know?
That's crazy.
It is. So when you think about it, it's helpful to know. And this is part of one of the series that I talk about in one of my coaching sessions that I'm doing 9 tools that you should have in your communication toolkit for relationships. And these are 2 of the things that I'm going to be talking about in that because it is very critical when you are aware of it, you can implement it and it makes life so much easier. So let me just briefly talk about those things. And there's 5 different apology languages. So there's the expressing regret, and those I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whatever I did, I'm sorry. The other one is accepting responsibility. You say, you know what, I was wrong. I do apologize. I was wrong. The other one is making restitution. What can I do to make this better for you? I'm really sorry. The other one is genuinely repenting, and that one is just you truly, truly are sorry for what you did. You apologize, and you just are genuine, and it is heartfelt. You can tell when something is very genuine. And the other one is requesting forgiveness. So that one is, will you please forgive me? And so those are the different communication styles for apology. Now, when you really reflect and think about it, like those are really some specific things. And if you don't understand where your mate is at, and that's why you're going in a crazy figure 8 cycle. So it's very key. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Drop some jewels on you, huh?
Yeah, those are nice though. But I just think that any couple should have an open mind. You know what I'm saying? Look, couples. To me, when you're married and you're a couple, you become one.
Yes.
Right? So as you become one, it's like any job, anybody that's a part of any team, you always got to continue to do team building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, apologizing and communicating, those are just some of the keys that you should. Because, if you're not, apologizing and moving on, like you hold grudges, then it's not really a form of communicating. You know what I mean? You're not really communicating. You're doing it just holding grudges and being a stickler about yourself. But, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Or the, hey, forgive me, or, all those things. Yeah, you should. And you should be able to do those things sincerely, So I agree.
Yeah. We did a poll earlier in the week, and well, not earlier in the week, just a couple of days ago. So, the question that I proposed was, do you feel that your spouse, what is your spouse or significant other's primary form of communication, listening? Do you feel that they listen to respond or listen to acknowledge?
Well, what happened? What kind of percentage
So-
did you get back on that poll?
14% said that their significant other or spouse listened to respond.
Now, what do you mean by listen to respond?
When I'm talking, you're not really listening to what I'm saying. You're listening to rebuttal or to get your point across. So you're interrupting me every time I'm talking.
Oh, okay. So pretty much listen, take the abuse, then speak.
Well, no. Why does it have to be abuse? It's talking, it's communication.
Depending on how you give it.
Okay,
And then-
but there is going to be a point where I stop speaking and allow you to share your point. So it's a two-way street.
That's understandable.
Yeah, that was real clever how you kind of put that. Listen and take the abuse.
I mean, you know, 'cause you gotta take the heat. You gotta listen to it. Sometimes people,
Yeah, sometimes that is very hard.
sometimes people can't take the heat. That's why they try to speak over it. You know what I'm talking about?
Deflection.
Yeah, they don't want to give constructive criticism. Yeah, and then also is depending on how the person is delivering the situation.
That is
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Your tone.
Your tone, I can listen, but your tone can be negative.
Yeah.
You want me to sit there and listen to a negative tone?
Well, you know, there are some people that utilize if we having a discussion and we talking and it's just not, we can't seem to be on the same page and we can't get eye to eye, just table the conversation and we'll come back to it.
Right.
That's a very, very, very good thing to do.
Mhm.
Or if you feel like somebody's just crossing the line, like have safe words where like if something funny or just odd out of the ordinary, like sunflowers. So if we're fussing and arguing and you not listening to me, I feel like you feel like and we trying to overtalk each other and nobody's point is getting across. If I'm gonna get to a point, you know what? Sunflowers. And so that's gonna make you laugh and it's gonna break the monotony. It's gonna break the cycle of us going back and forth. Just like you just laughed.
I would love that.
It would be like that. And so after that, you know what?
Sunflowers.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna table this for tonight, and we'll come back to this another day. And when you come back, you'll be in a different mindset, and you will be in a different space where you can share your point, and I can listen, and you can listen to what I'm saying without everybody just being so uptight. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't had to use it, but I mean, it actually works. It's just a prime example. I've never shared it with you.
Yeah.
But when I said it, you did exactly what it was meant to do.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Something just that you don't even like. Bunnies. What?
Bunnies? What?
Sunflowers.
Yeah, I'd have been like, okay.
What does that mean?
I'd have calmed down.
Yeah, it's just
Bunnies? Okay, let's come back and revisit.
yeah. So you both agree, and if somebody said it, hey, it's time to shut this conversation down for today, and we're gonna come back and revisit it.
Okay, cool.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yo, we got
What
some
else you
people.
got?
We got some people just joining us. What up, Camille Starr? She's online. How you doing?
All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Well, I mean, what I got? I did some research too, but what I'm saying, I want to talk about for family communications. I think team building is a real big thing. Family team building.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Family team building can be a lot of things, like putting together a podcast, for example, with your family. That's family team building. We all are interacting with it. We all are putting in our own input with it. We're all growing something together. So we're communicating. and we have respect for each other's individuality as a part of family communication. Everybody brings to the table a different perspective and a different way of doing things. So that's another way of communicating. So you can get an understanding of what each one of your family members has to bring to the table.
Yes, so utilizing everybody's strengths, and that's that's what make your bond so strong, is that you may be good by yourself, but you are awesome, you are fantastic, you are amazing when you have a team, when you do things together as a team. Like, you the bomb.com by yourself, but with your significant other, your helpmate, doing things as a family, including family, it's just, I can't even explain. It's just it's just a joy to do.
Yeah, family first, family of everything. Another thing I want to talk about too was creating opportunities for talking, as as communication. You might have, you as a couple, some people just go to work, come home, watch TV, go to sleep. Some couples do, because people work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So and people are tired, and they'll continue to let that cycle go on for a long time period of time till it starts to have a lack of communication between the couples. So as a couple, I think that creating opportunities for talking, just talking about, hey, how's your day going? What did you do today? You know what I'm saying? And then or even with your family, sit down and have discussions about, what are your plans, goals, things like this. And I think those things are very important when it comes to family communication as well. Because a lot of families don't talk. When I was 16 years old, my mother, she was a single mother raising me. I'm a young man, so I'm running the streets a lot. Basketball, hanging out. But my mother, she would literally on Fridays take me and have dinner with me and sit down. And we would go to Wise Cafeterias, and we would sit down and we would have a conversation. And she just would do that. And I didn't understand back then why she was doing all those things, whatever, but it was a way of her and I communicating and talking about what's going on with your son and things like that. And she tells me what's going on with her and her job and increasing our family time and our bond.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why with our kids, and I try to sit down at the table and eat, bring conversations and sit down at the table and eat dinner is another way of family communication. Because when you're having dinner at the table, everybody's talking and sharing and laughing and having dialogue. So yeah,
we get to catch up on what's going on in the kids' life, what you got going on, like what's happening, especially too with us, when our the youngest come in from college and we haven't seen him in several months. That's one of our traditions that we go out to eat and we sit down and we're like, okay, we have to catch him up on what's been going on, because he doesn't really be knowing what's going on with the family because he's been doing his schoolwork. He's all the way in Florida, so we okay, let's see. Since the last time you were here, this happened with the family, and that is that's a time that we look forward to getting together. And he's like, man, all of that happened in such a period of time. That's what.
One of my favorite times for family communication is going to the grocery store. We finally got our oldest son. To go hang out with us.
Yes, he wasn't used to that.
No. So he can hang out with us. We be at the grocery store, but think about the time that we are at the grocery store. Think about how we are talking. Think about things that we're doing as a family. We actually be communicating. Him and I, you and him will be talking about certain things. We actually but it's a good time.
Yes.
Because those are valuable times.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Because we're not, you and I, we're going to always be together doing our thing, but these guys are grown men. So now, as our
time with them
it's very, very,
valuable.
So we try, I try to give in.
Yeah.
And we try to give them us as well.
This
So we
is
got to
true.
be able to give them us as well too. So yeah.
This is true.
So those are good times for me, man. And then that's about it for me.
Speaking of communication with the kids and all, so like technology has made it real easy for us to communicate with the kids. So I remember like now, like our niece, like she has a phone and she's 5 years old. Like who does that? Like she can answer her phone. She turns it on when she gets out of school, calls her dad and say, I got off the bus.
Wow, that's great.
Like you were just too like old, like an old 5 years old. Of course, we already know that the kids and our grandkids, they know how to look at the phones and watch their shows that they're watching. Swipe to the right, swipe to the left.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know when to scroll up and scroll down and scroll to the right and left? I think she probably was like 2 at that time, probably
Smart.
2 or 3. Like, where did it come from?
Well, I mean,
Like that.
I mean, they'll figure it out because they're born into the technology.
Obviously.
Remember, our granddaughter Harper was just going through it. We was like, look at
That's
this.
what I'm talking about.
So, but kids born in the technology world now. I mean, we were smart when we came out. But we only have building blocks and stuff like that. These kids, we mastered building blocks and things. These kids are born into technology.
Yeah, so now we FaceTime with them.
Yeah.
And so that's a way of communication that
Yeah.
we utilize now is FaceTime. And even with our Xavier that's in college in Florida, we have to get him on FaceTime. Usually on Sundays we do that. It's our weekly session. But that's how we keep communication going with them. When they're not here, we try to get them on the video chat.
Yeah.
Not just on the phone. And I know, like our Derek, our oldest, like you were 13 when you first got your cell phone. Like, look at that big age gap, 13 and 5. Man, I don't know. It is just blowing my mind at the age.
Yeah. Is that too early to give them a phone?
I think so, but shoot, she know what to do with it.
But we live in a world where they have to be able to deal with the technology that around them because everything is all digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Ron Jackson who just joined us.
Yeah.
What up, Ron?
So, but I can remember. So, like, there's some people that are like texting versus phone calls.
Right.
I'm more of a texter than pick up a phone and call.
Boy.
I think that you will do some texting, but you will get tired of that and you'll be like, man, why you just can't call? You like the call
Yeah, because I think
versus text.
texting people hide behind the words instead of you can hear their voice and really get a gauge on their, how they're feeling versus a text. I can't, it's, to me, the texting is just so
You
boring.
like touch. Yes. And because there's a lot of misunderstanding that goes on with text too. You can text one thing and people take it another way.
Yeah.
If I tell you, you have a chance to respond right then. No, why are you acting like that? That's not what I meant by that. And you go ahead and address it versus letting other conversations go by through the text. Because I'm sure you said some other things after you said that, and they still stuck on that one thing that you said, and everything else has shut down, and they haven't even heard anything else you said about that because they was offended or took whatever you said earlier wrong. So communication can be misconstrued with text. So
Yeah, but it's also a great thing for family communication. So
yeah.
at least you can FaceTime.
Yeah, now let me tell you before FaceTime, and let me tell you when the boys were younger, and I said I took the oldest to the movies, and he was in the movies, and moms, we like really like, oh my God, like we're rewards, and so usually dads will just chill, lay back, and like they're gonna be all right. We worry about everything. So I take him to the movies. He has his phone, And I'm thinking, okay, it should be over by now. He hasn't called, said come pick him up or anything. It's getting late. I'm like, okay. I go up to the movies anyway. He hasn't called. I go and I wait and he's still not there. I wait. I go back home and I'm like, you still ain't home? Nope. And I'm like, well, what is going on? So I'm calling, I'm texting, I'm calling, I'm texting, and he's still not answering. So I was really upset. I finally go and ask the person at the ticket booth what time this movie started that he went to see. And they told me, and I thought about the time that I picked him up. That I dropped him off, and it was in between the start time, so he had to wait for the next one, which I'm guessing that's what he did. So she said, well, this one should be over in whatever time she told me. So I said, okay, so I waited. And now I'm thinking, I hope he is where he said he is. And I dropped him off here and nobody better not have came and picked him up. I'm thinking all these crazy thoughts. But if he did, let somebody come and get him. I'm going to be right here in the front and I'm going to see it all. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm about to bust him if he was not in this movie. So, needless to say, he comes right on out like, no problem. When she say the movie's out, he come out, he gets in the car, I'm just on 10. Why did you answer my calls? Why haven't you answered my text? I don't call you. He's like, Mom, I turned my phone off because they said turn your phones off in the movies. Well, who pays attention to that? I said, I don't care what they say. When I text and call, you better be able to respond to me. And I meant that. I was like, what? You don't do that. Well, that's what they say. Okay, well, you follow the instructions. Good. But don't follow those instructions. That's what you don't do. You still be able to respond so that I'm not worried. I would never forget that. That was like, he was like so calm about it. I was like, no.
You're going to be all right.
Well, I didn't know what was going on. And so I'm like all uptight about it. Like, you turned it off. I said, no, you don't turn it off. You just put it on vibrate and you answer and text back and say, still in the movies. That's what you do.
Well, I'm glad because that proved that he's a very responsible young man.
Oh, definitely.
So therefore, It shouldn't have mattered no more than that.
Yeah, but then, as they get older, you have to go through those different things and experience different things with them when you're learning to let go and let them grow up. But
Well,
I tell you, it was hard.
if they had to grow with me, when they wouldn't have to go through that stuff with you.
What? I still am the way that I am.
No,
But it's balanced, but I still am.
It wouldn't have been none of that. I would have been, look, we raised him, he good.
Yes, you'll say that.
And then plus, I'm a different father, so I know how to put it in him. You understand me? So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to. You have to worry about nothing. He'd have been good, handle his business
He was good,
already.
but I still worry.
Why?
Because
You supposed
I
to
didn't
worry
get a response.
after the fact.
I didn't get a response.
You worried before the fact.
Yeah, well, needless to say, they're good.
Well, communication, cool.
Yes, so tonight was about family communication. Just to recap, we talked about communication as couples, love language, apology language. We talked about technology with the kids and communication, texting versus phone calls. Talked about
Team building projects, how to create more opportunities for talking with your family, and just eating, having dinner at the table, with your family for communication.
Yeah. And one thing that I didn't touch on, but I did just want to share was the communication with immediate families. And just because sometimes I know we all get busy with life and everything, and we don't call like we think about them. Even though we don't call, we still think about them. And so we just want to kind of put that out there. Like,
Yeah.
you're still loved. We still think about you, even though we may not call, and even though you may not call.
Don't you just hate those family members that you call all the time and nobody calls you?
Yeah, and they won't call you because you don't call them.
So if you call them, you can call them every day of the week. And then, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? But next week you don't call. You sit there, call you. They won't even call you. You can wait for that. You be waiting for a whole year. They don't even call you. So it's a two-way street. Family members,
Yeah.
communicate.
Yes, definitely it is. All right, so that's gonna wrap up for tonight. We do thank everyone for joining us tonight, and again, we'll be back next Monday.
Which is what day is it? The holidays, man. Almost Christmas.
Not so much
Mhm.
Christmas, but yeah, next Monday, 9 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. We broadcast live on Facebook to all of our podcast listeners. So if you ever want to join in on our topics, we do interact with our guests, and we take polls, and we would like to talk to you if you would like to join in our interactive show. If not, continue listening to us on the go. And next week we will talk about marriage counseling. So I hope you can join us for that.
And also, if you want to catch this video, it's going to be uploaded to YouTube direct, so you can go to Bring It to the Table podcast on YouTube, and you can watch the show again, and you can share with your friends. We have a lot of things over there on our YouTube channel. So hey man, we had a good time tonight.
Yes, and you can follow us on Instagram at Table Combos, TableConbos,
And Twitter, right?
and Twitter, Table Combos.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to say?
I'm sorry, Twitter is Bring It to the Table.
Well, yeah, Twitter is Bring It to the Table, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
All right, so that wraps up this session for tonight.
Hey, we want to thank all those that joined in: Richard Ely, Camille Starr, Ronald Jackson,
That's just a few that we
Kim.
can name.
Ashanti, and Victoria, and everybody else that joined in. We wanted to say, hey, thank you guys for joining in, and you guys have a wonderful night.
All right, good night.
Now let's bring it to the table. Gang.